The views and opinions expressed in the following program are those of the hosts and guests, and not necessarily those of the staff or management of Worldwide Digital Broadcasting Corporation.
Y'all ready for this?
All right, we are back at the top of the hour. Southern Nevada Sports News come to you from Worldwide Digital Broadcasting TV.com. My name is Bill Miller, along with
Jeff Belknap,
Brett Price.
And it is time to kick into the final bowl games leading up to, of course, the playoffs. And
Playoffs.
So if you were with us last week, we basically had a number of bowls last week, and also up to and including the Hawaii Bowl.
Yep.
And so we are going to start off with December 26th. It's the St. Petersburg Bowl, coming to you from, guess where? St. Petersburg, Florida. And that is going to be 11 a.m. Pacific time, because thanks to ESPN's schedule, they're nice to bring everything to our time.
That's right.
Yep.
And that is going to be Miami of Ohio, 6-6 versus Mississippi State, 5-7.
Yeah.
It used to be only
Right
that
home
Notre
about this.
Dame was the only team with a losing record that could get into a bowl game, but now if you're an SEC team with a losing
Well, the
record,
thing is, like, some of them losing record teams, they go by the APR, their academic stuff. So they reward those teams that are high APR and are on the border of making a bowl. They give them a bowl game, and
not just because they're in the SEC.
No, not just because they.
Okay.
So,
I don't believe you.
but
I thought maybe because they beat Ole Miss.
well, the only reason I
smashed
know that,
Ole Miss.
is because they were talking about Northern Illinois being the next in line APR wise to maybe replace Minnesota in the Holiday Bowl. That's how I knew how they did that with the 5 and 7 teams.
Okay, so before we get going, are we going to talk about that when we get to Minnesota?
we can. Yeah.
All right, let's roll through these because we got a lot.
Okay.
Of,
Yeah,
a lot-
I mean,
lot of work.
this is a pretty easy one. SEC versus MAC talent. Even if they are 5 and 7, Mississippi State's played all bowl caliber teams pretty much all year in the SEC. So,
Well, what did you say that SEC teams? Would you say 10 made bowl games?
yeah, 10 made bowl games. Yeah, no, 12 made bowl games.
12 made
10
bowl
Big
games.
10 made bowl
Okay.
games. So 12 SEC teams.
So basically everybody.
pretty much.
Who didn't make a
Yeah.
bowl? Is another
Yeah,
question.
I don't know. I really don't know. Ole Miss
Was it
didn't
Ole
make one.
Miss?
They didn't make
Yeah.
one.
Oh, they did.
Yeah, 'cause
Yeah,
they,
they didn't make
lost
one.
like their last 4
and
or 5
Mississippi
games.
State
Yeah.
wiped them out in the Egg Bowl.
Oh yeah, they got.
So
they
I don't
crushed
think
them.
this game's close. I mean,
Well,
Miami's
Kelly's nephew went down.
Yeah.
And down and out.
yeah, Miami's kind of a feel-good story. Started out 0-6 on the year and won their last 6
Yep.
to be bowl eligible. But
All conference games though.
yeah, I mean it's.
They beat
I don't think
powerhouses
this.
like
I
the
don't think
Zips
this is
and
close.
the-
I
yeah.
think it's close to a 3-touchdown game.
Yeah.
Really. So, and I like Mississippi State's quarterback. He's really, really, really good. Got
Yep.
really good stats. So, he's also a good runner too. He ran for 1,243 yards this year.
Yep.
So he's a big kid. So I don't think this is close.
Yeah, I think they score 40 points and win by 3 to 4 touchdowns.
Yeah, I think it's like a 42-20 game, maybe 42-17, something like that.
Okay.
All right.
George, you agree? Yes.
Next.
Georgie.
I'm going with Miami.
Oh.
Of Ohio.
Wow, look at you.
I
It's
think
one upset, and now he's Mr. Joe upset.
Texas. Yeah, I've got.
Is that Miami of App State?
Is that Miami, Florida? you think?
Miami of no, I actually realize it's Miami of Ohio, and it is in part of my entry, and of
Yeah.
course into your pool.
Yes, yep.
Yeah, and
Which
I've
I
got
forgot
it,
to do. But
You
Locked.
did, I know.
I've got it locked and loaded. Miami of Ohio. Can't change my mind on that one. Next one, December 26th, and it is the Quick Lane. Oops. I'm sorry, the Quick Lane Bowl from guess where?
From Detroit, Michigan?
Detroit, the D. 2:30 p.m. Eastern. I'm sorry, 2:30 p.m. Pacific time. BC, Boston College, 6-6, going against Maryland, 6-6.
I mean, the name of the bowl is the quickest thing that's probably going to happen in that game.
Yep.
Both offenses are awful.
Best player on the Terrapins, Wade Lee's punter.
Yeah,
pro kick.
There you go. And he'll probably see a lot of airtime.
Yes, I hope he does.
With that.
Drop a few inside the 20.
Yeah, I mean, Maryland starts out 4-0 in the season, new coach, everybody's feeling good and everything, and they barely squeak in. They had to beat Rutgers the last game of the year to be bowl eligible to get in a bowl. So they get that, and they've been getting smoked in their games.
Well, we do have a theory play.
Yes.
So the theory is you take the highest total and you go over and the lowest under. And I kept track all season. Boston College, 10 weeks.
10 weeks
was the lowest.
And the over-under's 44 right now.
Ooh. That's actually pretty low. That's actually high.
That's high, I think.
According to Boston College standards, because
Yeah.
they're usually 36, 37.
Yeah, if this game reaches 35, I'll be surprised.
Yeah.
And I think Boston College wins because I'm going with the better defense. I think they might be able to create some turnovers, get the field goal kicker some good position to kick some field goals, and then
I'm gonna take Maryland just because I want them to win, not because I think they're gonna win. This is something I'm definitely not gonna be betting.
No,
but
maybe the under. Under.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Big Ten. I'm rooting for the Big Ten.
I'm going also with Maryland in the Big Ten. All right,
BC.
Next up, we've got the Independence Bowl out of Shreveport, 5 p.m. That's on December 26th. Vanderbilt 6-6 against North Carolina State 6-6.
Yeah, interesting. This is kind of interesting game, really.
ACC and SEC.
Yeah. Vandy, really came on strong at the end of the year. Definitely their quarterback, they kind of let the reins off of him.
Yep.
Let him start throwing the ball around, and I think that Mason, let their offensive coordinator let him run with the offense, and the last 4 games he's had over 300 yards passing. He had 416 yards in the upset of Tennessee the last game of the year. Vandy has a strong defense. Carolina State, they had to beat North Carolina to get eligible. I think, their coach is still on the hot seat.
Yep.
Down there. I just like Vandy in this game getting the points, and pretty much I think they're going to win outright with their offense, clicking as it is with Shermer, and then their strong defense. I think they win by maybe a touchdown.
The most interesting game that NC State played this year was in the Hurricane against Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Other than that, they haven't really impressed me at all. I'm going Vandy.
Yeah, I like Vandy as well. I really
plus
do.
The points.
Yeah,
I don't know if I would take a money line, but plus the points.
I think they win it. I think they win it outright.
Well, didn't North Carolina State
and they're
have
getting,
a
they're getting
really good game against Clemson?
Yeah, they blew that game.
Well, I mean, they should have won.
They had
that game won.
Yeah, they should have won.
Yeah. I'm going with North Carolina State.
Okay.
Yeah, just going to go with the ACC.
Going to ACC. All right.
Yeah. All right. Next game up, Heart of Dallas. I'm always intrigued by some of the names of these bowls. This is the Heart of Dallas game being played actually in New Orleans. Nah, just kidding, folks. Noon, if you're going to be there. Noon. It's on the 27th, Tuesday, at noon.
It's a rematch
time, and North Texas 5-7 versus Army 6-5.
Rematch game. They played earlier in the season, and North Texas. I think North Texas won 35-18. But it was one of those games. Army had 7 turnovers. I think Army's the better team here, but I think North Texas keeps it close enough to get in under the number, playing close to home. I think they'll bring a crowd.
And those 10 points. Huh?
Yeah, what are you, about 100 miles or so?
Yeah, it's maybe 100 miles. So I'm going to take the 10 points and ride that out with North Texas.
Well, they'll get the cadets down there free.
Cadets are, they're still celebrating, the big win over Navy.
I picked Army, and it was only because I have an affinity for the service academies. Mm-hmm. But they're 25,000 light. I don't know where that comes out of, but the thing that people should be, I guarantee you is going to happen is they will clean house. When Army says that they are will handle this investigation internally. First and foremost, it is the honor code,
Yeah.
which is almost as strict among employees and staff.
And you're
as
talking about the Wake Forest.
right, the
stuff.
WikiLeaks.
Yeah, WikiLeaks.
I wish I had come up with that.
Yeah.
I believe that between now and when that game is played, they're going to some coaches.
A lot of distractions, I think, a little bit there with Army.
Yeah, at the time, I really didn't have all of that in there. I probably would have taken North. I did go with Army, so I'm still roll with Army. But I just think that staff is going to be a bit light because it's a no.
Yeah,
they take no prisoners.
They're not going to mess around with it.
Not at all.
Jeff, you got any feeling on that?
I will absolutely not bet this game.
I think we gathered as well. I was going to go out on a limb on that one.
What the spread's 10 points?
10, yeah.
10
and 49.
So North Texas minus 10.
No, plus
plus
10.
10.
Oh, plus 10. I'll take North Texas plus 10.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
That's a lot of points to lay in a rematch game where you got blown out by 20.
Yeah. No, North Texas won that one.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's a lot of distractions in the Army's camp.
Yep.
The next game up, strangely enough, is the Military Bowl.
And no
Without any
team.
military service academies in it, coming out of Annapolis, home of the Naval Academy. 3:30 on the 27th, 3:30 Pacific time. Temple 10-3 against Wake Forest 6-6. Funny you should have been mentioned about Wake Forest.
A lot of stuff going on.
Timing
Wake
is
Forest.
everything.
Yeah, a lot of stuff
Timing
going on
is
in Wake
everything.
Forest.
Where to
A lot
start?
of distractions.
A lot of distractions.
Plus, I think Temple's just better.
Yeah.
Temple's a better team. Their coach Rule is going to go. He's leaving. He's going to Baylor.
Yep.
They hired the defensive coordinator from Florida. Jeff Collins is the new head coach there. He's interim coach for the game. Is going to be their special teams coach and tight end guy. He's on staff. But their offense is so balanced, and their defense is third in the country. And Wake's offensively not good.
Yeah.
They're not good. Defensive, they're not bad. But offensive, they're not good. I think this is the line's 13 right now and 41.
Yeah.
I think Temple covers that 41 by themselves. I think it's a blowout, like a 42, 13, 16 game maybe.
Yeah, I feel for the Temple players and staff. They were completely ambushed and just
That's what you
hosed.
get for winning.
Yeah, and but I'm going with Temple.
Yeah.
We're going to go across the board then.
Yeah.
I think so.
And I'm going to go because the last time that they played on that field in Annapolis, they crushed Navy. And they're going to, playing on the exact same field, they're actually going to crush Wake Forest.
There you go. Good theory.
All right, next one up, we go completely back to the West Coast, the Holiday Bowl in San Diego. And that's also on the 27th, 7 p.m. Pacific time. Minnesota 8-4 against Washington State 8-4. And this almost began as a to be advised
Yeah.
against
To be
Washington.
determined.
To be determined. TBD.
Yeah, 'cause Minnesota, their football team was boycotting the game for almost a week,
Yep.
pretty much. Then they decided they were boycotting the way 10 of their teammates or brothers got suspended off a sexual assault case that had been
Adjudicated.
yeah,
Yeah.
by the law it had been, but the university was still looking into it. The university suspended them off their research or investigation, and so the guys, some of the leaders, ended up reading an account of the victim that they hadn't read before they had made the boycott, and so they read that account of the victim and they kind of changed their tune on some stuff, and they decided they're going to play now. So they're going to go out west and play Washington State. Minnesota's missing a lot of secondary guys, and that's not what you want to miss
Yeah.
when you're playing Washington and the mad scientist Leach team. So I'm going to go. Line's 10. I think Washington State, handles them by 15, 17 points. And I also think the game goes over. It's 49. I know Minnesota's a ball control type team.
Yeah.
But I just think they're so thin in the secondary. They're missing 2 starters and 3 backups, from the secondary. I like Washington in that game.
I think that's too many points.
It's went up a bunch.
Yeah.
It was sitting at 6.5, 7.
I actually have it at a pick 'em on a teaser. That'll
Pick
show
'em.
you.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a contrast.
That'll show you how much it went up. I actually have Washington State on a pick, which I do like Washington State to win the game, but I think at 10 points is too many points. These guys are lucky I'm not the president of the school. I can tell you right now. 'Cause the minute somebody tells me they're boycotting, I'm pulling scholarships, and I'm basically saying, "Hey, man, I got 18 scholarships available.
Yeah.
Let's get some football players here that are going to play." See, to me, it's like that's kind of like it's like a power thing, And for players to be able to do it, I kind of understand the concept of sticking behind your brothers. Sexual assault is not something you can play with.
No.
That's just kind of like that's like a taboo type of scenario, like that you don't want to be in.
They were doing like
they had drugs
parking
or,
stickers or
got drunk or
stuff
something
like that.
Yeah,
it's different.
I understand stuff like that. You're talking about stuff
Crime.
where people go to jail for
Yeah.
long periods of time.
Long periods of time.
And for you to stand behind somebody that's in that circumstance, I just don't agree with it at all.
The circumstances, and if you folks want to drill down, there's outlines that are out there, but ultimately, basically, these guys are literally lined up outside a room, and there's one girl.
Yep.
So just draw your own conclusions, but you pick your battles, okay? And
is she the only girl in Minnesota, by the way?
I don't know, but
There
apparently
has to be other girls on
she
campus.
actually was on the staff.
Yeah, she was
Yeah,
part of the football
part
staff.
of the football staff.
Yeah.
So, hey, listen, enough of the boys will be boys. If there aren't enough examples that have already been out there, why on earth would you,
Yeah.
jeopardize your own scholarship, your own future, et
Yeah,
cetera, et
before
cetera.
you step up in front of that mic and you make that statement that you're going to boycott on this, you better have all your
Some
ducks in a
solid,
row,
yeah.
and you better have read everything.
I think clearly, and the fact that their coach sort of came out
Yeah,
and
he
said he
kinda
was kind of
backed
like, I'm proud of my boys. And I'm sitting there looking at this guy, I'm going like, you might want to dust off your resume as well.
Yeah.
At some point or another, the board of directors and the regents,
Yeah.
they're going to review this, and Minnesota's going to have to decide whether or not they are a sports U, and that hey, we just kind of we got to give these guys a second chance and all that kind of stuff. And considering this is hot on the heels of what happened at Baylor,
Yeah.
if you didn't already have a blueprint as to what can happen, it's already there.
No one's going to mess. No one's going to mess with that anymore.
Yeah.
Baylor hit it and covered it up, and it got exposed. Universities are not
It
going to
got
play
the
around with
president
it.
fired.
Yeah, they're not going to play
Kenneth
around with
Starr.
it. They're not going to play around with that.
Head coach, and you get a head coach, you get a president of the university, and and then the first thing your head coach says is, "Well, I'm proud of my boys for sticking to each other." Okay, he'll be looking for a job.
Now he's backtracking. He's donating $50,000 of his own money to
backpedaling. Well,
I lost a little respect for that.
I'm also taking Washington State as well, so I think we're all in Washington State across the board. Next up, we have going from San Diego to Phoenix, Arizona, the Cactus Bowl, also under 27, 10:15 p.m. Pacific time. Boise State 10-2 against Baylor 6-6. Speak of the devil.
Yep.
And right now, I think they've got Baylor at plus 7.5. Is that,
Yep. 7.5, 67. I'm not sold on Baylor at all. They lost 6 in a row. They started out hot, type of thing, and they lost Seth Russell and they lost their backup quarterback as well. So that they got inexperience in the position that makes them good. Running back, pretty good. Linwood, good stuff like that. But playing Boise, I like Rippon, the quarterback, and I like McNichol, the running back. Our defense is solid. I just got to back. I got to back Boise in kind of a little bit of a shootout, maybe like a 45-30 game, something like that. So I'll take Boise and the points, given the points.
They'll be ripping and running up and down the field.
Yeah. Yeah. I like the over in it too.
Yeah.
So
I agree that I like the over as well. Indoor game will make it easy.
yeah, they're playing it where the Diamondbacks play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Downtown Phoenix.
Yeah,
Yeah.
downtown Phoenix. Boise doesn't cover.
They haven't. They're due.
I'm going to take Baylor post the points.
It's more of a. I don't think Baylor's very good, so I'm going with. And I like. And
it's just,
they really don't
I
have
guess
a coach.
it's
And
something,
it's like
it's something
Grove
about
is like I don't know,
Boise not covering that will make me not be able to lay points.
Gotcha.
I do like the over. I'm definitely with you on the over on that one,
Yeah.
without a doubt.
I'm going with Boise.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just think that.
Go with the blue carpet boys.
I think go with the. Yeah, I know they wish they were at home, and
Yeah.
outdoors, but
Yeah.
yeah, I'm going to absolutely go with Boise on that one.
Cool.
Next up, we have the Pinstripe Bowl, and of all places, Yankee Stadium, the Bronx.
That's awesome.
Could be interesting.
It's 2 p.m. This is on the 28th, Wednesday, 2 p.m. Pacific time, and that is going to be Pittsburgh, 8-4 against Northwestern, 6-6.
Yeah. The thing with this game, I don't know what the weather's going to be like.
It is going to be brutal.
Yeah. I mean, it could be snowing. It could be all kinds of stuff. If it's not, if it's just a cold, chilly night, I like the over in this game at over 66. And I like Northwestern. I like Northwestern getting 5 points.
Yeah, the way they cram that field
Yeah, it's weird in
into
there.
Yankee Stadium. Well, this is Yankee Stadium is where the New York football club soccer team plays, and they play their games in Yankee Stadium, and it's an abbreviated field. It is the smallest soccer pitch on the planet, and from sideline to sideline, from end to end. And the games they would always get a bit skittish. The last games that I saw in there, the weather was already
Getting bad.
on a decline.
Yeah.
And I think that this one's going to be it could be anywhere from snow to rain.
I mean, that's a wait and see on the over/under on that game, I guess, to see what the weather's going to be like.
Right
But
now,
I like
Northwestern
Northwestern
plus 5.5.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, it's 5. I've seen it
It's
today
5?
at 5.
Okay.
I like Northwestern. I like, they've been scoring. They've been averaging about 30 points a game the last 8 games. I like their running game with Justin Jackson. He was the second leading rusher in the Big Ten. The quarterback's just solid. He's got 247 passing a game. And then Austin Carr, hidden gem, really, at wide receiver. I think he's really good. When they played Ohio State, I'm like, who is this kid?
Yeah.
And he's really good. He's got 84 catches for 1,196 yards and 12 touchdowns. He's second team All-American. And then there's solid defense. And I think the coaching advantage is with Northwestern. I think they got to control the Pitt running game. Pitt's been rolling a little bit lately, and that's why the over is so interesting in this game, with Northwestern clicking with 30 points a game, and then Pitt putting up numbers too. So if the weather's fine, that's what I would probably look for in this game.
It's going to be cold.
Yeah, it's going to be cold. As long as it's not, the field's okay, these guys are going to be fine. But if the field's rainy or snowy or something like that, then it's a different story. But if it's just cold, it's
Both these teams play in the cold. So.
Yeah, so they'll be fine. If I'll take the points, give me the points, and I like the over if the field's good.
That Clemson win still kind of lingers for me. I agree with you. I do like the over. Not completely sold on Northwestern. I've seen them play a couple really bad games. I'm going to take Pitt.
They've played really good in the past bowl games, though.
They have.
I like that.
They have.
I'm
going to take Pitt minus the points.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Pitt. Near the end of the year, they used to playing their games at Heinz Field, and Heinz Field is probably the most used field in Pittsburgh.
Oh yeah,
it's where they have their high school championship
everything
games,
there.
where Pitt plays.
Yep.
The Steelers, of course. So they always seem to be used to kind of a muddy track.
Yeah.
And I think that they're, again, I'm kind of going off the Clemson win as well.
Right.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the ACC on this one.
You like the ACC?
No, this is not true. I mean,
Yes, this is not true.
This is not true. It's honest. It's
CC.
not true. ACC. Next up, on the 28th also, is the Russell Athletic Bowl out of Orlando. So you kind of get into some warm weather here. 5:30 p.m. Pacific time. West Virginia, 10-2 against Miami of Florida, 8-4. Now we're kind of getting to some of the heavyweights.
Some good games. Well, Jeff, what do you think about this game?
West Virginia plus the points.
Totally agree.
I've watched Miami, Florida play a couple different times and just not really impressed.
I mean,
Defensively, they're mediocre.
yeah.
I mean, they can move the ball, they can put points up. West Virginia can. I mean, they just played some really solid games against some tough teams, and
Their two losses are two quality losses against Oklahoma State
yep,
and Oklahoma.
yep.
So I mean, they've played some good, quality bowl teams. I like them as well. West Virginia getting the points and winning
The
by
points and
Maybe a field goal.
definitely throw a 6.5 point tease around there. I'd
Yeah.
take 9 points all day long.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm also going with West Virginia
Yeah.
across the board. Okay, we've got time for one more before we take our next break, and that is the Foster Farms Chicken Bowl out of Santa Clara, San Francisco. Seems an odd. I didn't realize that chicken ranching was up in the Santa Clara
Well,
area.
that will probably be the biggest crowd that's been in that field.
All year long. 8:30 p.m. Pacific time. Utah 8-4 with travel well
They always do.
against Indiana 6-6.
Indiana not without head coach,
Right, not Wilson.
so I think Indiana rolls. I'm sorry, Utah rolls.
Yeah, they're gonna they promoted their defensive coordinator Tom Allen to the full-time position. He's done a good job with their defense, improving it this year. But I think what's going to hurt Indiana is not having Wilson. He called the plays.
Yep.
So that's going to hurt them, And then Utah's defense is very solid, and good coach that way. Whittingham. So Utes are 9-1 straight up and 8-2 in their bowl games in his tenure. Good enough for me.
Yep.
I'll give that.
How many
And
of those were
to
Las
7.
Vegas?
It's down to 7.5.
Yeah.
It was up.
I think their last loss was Boise State in the Vegas Bowl.
Yep.
It was higher. It's down to 7.5 now. It's been dropping.
I
So
love-
I don't
I
know
love
what's
that
going
minus
on with
7.5.
that. I haven't heard of any injuries, but I'll take.
Well, I
take
did hear a
Utah.
couple geniuses on the radio. Okay, I don't want to talk about my colleagues like that, but talk about how losing your head coach isn't really that much of a difference when you go into a bowl game. And it was funny because they were actually using Houston as the example, and we saw what happened to Houston.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think Utah easy. If you want to throw that on a teaser and
Yeah, I think they win by 10,
and make it a
10
pick
to
'em.
13 points.
That's easy.
All right, and I'm going to also go with Utah on that. So Utah across the board. All right, we are at the bottom of the hours. We're going to take our last break, and we'll be back in just a couple of minutes. Southern Nevada Sports News coming to you from Worldwide Digital Broadcasting TV.com. We'll be right back. We are back. Thank you for coming back and joining us after that last break. Southern Nevada Sports News coming to you from Worldwide Digital Broadcasting TV.com. WWDBTV.com. My name is Bill Miller, co-host, along with
Jeff Belknap.
And Brett Price.
and we are knee deep, I say, in the bowl games, leading up, of course, to including the playoffs for the championship. And hopefully we will have time. Are we going to have an abbreviated version of our picks for the week, or
So it doesn't.
are we going to just finish off because we got a lot of bowl
we can
games
hustle.
covered? All right,
Yeah,
we can
roll
hustle.
through these.
All right, well, let's roll. We just left off with the Chicken Bowl, Foster Farms Bowl in Santa Clara, California, leading up. Also on the 28th, the Texas Bowl out of Houston, 9 p.m. Pacific time. Texas A&M 8-4 against Kansas State 8-4. Gents.
Yeah, this is an interesting game. I kind of lean Kansas State with ball control, getting 2 points. If you're gonna do 2 points, you might as well do money line. So I think Kansas State will win the game in a close one, but I think they'll control the ball and keep it away from Texas A&M and win the game.
All right. Jeffrey.
Well, considering the way that A&M finished the season, losing 3 of their last 4, I'm going to roll with Kansas State as well. I think that A&M's a good team. I mean, they play a lot of tough competition in the SEC and everything. But I obviously want SEC teams to lose, so I'm going Kansas State.
I just like the way Kansas State's finished out their regular season. Yeah. Plus, rumors have it this might be Schneider's last game.
Yeah, I did hear that.
So,
yeah.
Yeah, and he's had just an unbelievable career at Kansas State.
Yeah.
I'm going to be the lone wolf on this one, Texas A&M.
Good enough.
All right. Next up, we have the Birmingham Bowl on the 29th, 2 p.m. Pacific time in Birmingham, Alabama. South Carolina 6-6, South Florida 10-2.
Here's another situation where the head coach left.
Yeah.
In South Florida, Taggart took the job at Oregon.
And Strong takes the job at South Florida.
Yep. Charlie Strong is in South Florida, and what I'm hearing is Taggart was really, really, really close to his team, and the guys took it pretty hard. So with that, I'm gonna go SEC. I'm gonna take the points, 10.5 points. South Carolina, one of the youngest teams in the college football, and they're really coming on. I just think, given an SEC team 10.5 points is good enough for me.
I will not bet this game.
Yeah.
But for the sake of making a pick, I will also take South Carolina.
I think this stays under too.
For similar reasons. I think South Florida is a good team. At the end of these bowl games, I want to kind of go through and see how many teams lost their coach and the effect on it. And I honestly think it's a bigger effect than people think.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're promoting within, that's
It's
one
different,
thing.
a little different.
But when you got a guy that would coach at a different school coming coaching one game, I don't know. I just don't see you laying
It just throws everything out of whack.
Yeah.
Because you got a different guy calling plays. You got a different.
And you know what?
this and
Honestly, I think South Florida wins the game. I just don't think they're going to
They can
cover the
cover
10
the 10.
half. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so too. I think it's like a 3. I think it's a field goal game.
I'm going to go with South Florida. I just think South Carolina, they had some dreadful games this year. And I think that for those players on, South Florida, they're auditioning for their new head coach. And this might be, the last opportunity for them to have some really positive film. So I'm going to go with South Florida.
Just on a side note, South Carolina only got beat bad by one team, and that was Clemson. Other than that,
listen, they're in a tough.
They've done well against
they're
dual
in the
threat
SEC.
quarterbacks, which is Flowers.
Yeah.
Mississippi State, Texas A&M, Tennessee. They played Deshaun Watson and did well. I think they just stay in that game.
Okay, next up we have the Belk Bowl, and this one coming out of Charlotte, North Carolina, 5:30 p.m. on the 29th. And that's going to be Virginia Tech 9-4 against Arkansas 7-5. ACC and SEC again.
Yep. Justin Fuentes done a good job replacing Frank Beamer this year in the first year. He wins the Coastal Division in the ACC.
A real surprise too.
Yeah, Gerard Evans has had a great year. The JUCO transfer in. I just, again, SEC getting points here. Better schedule. Tough. They've played a tougher schedule. Arkansas, you give me a touchdown. kind of almost got to take it.
Yeah. Arkansas beat Florida, loses to Missouri, loses to LSU, gets crushed by Auburn.
You don't know.
I mean, you really don't know like who they're going to be that day. I'll take VTech.
Yeah, I'm also taking Virginia Tech. I mean, that's not a far drive coming down out of there, going down to Charlotte. I think they turn out well for it. Virginia Tech. Next up, we have the Alamo Bowl coming out of San Antonio, Texas. Also on the 29th, busy day, 9 p.m. Pacific time. Colorado 10-3. Finally, get some Pac-12 teams in there. And Oklahoma State 9-3.
Well, my first question is the quarterback okay?
I think
from the Washington game. I mean, he just got absolutely murdered
in
that
game.
Pretty sure.
Manhandled.
Pretty sure that
Oklahoma State's played some really, really good games this year, but then they've played some equally poor games. I'd stay away from the game, decide at all, maybe possibly play the over on that game.
Yeah, I mean, I think Oklahoma State, I like them winning the game.
I could see that.
I think one of the biggest factors is the defensive coordinator for Colorado, Jim Leavitt, took the DC job at Oregon, so he's gone. He's not going to be at the bowl game, and that's going to be a big thing because their defense has been strong all year. He's been pulling the strings, so I think that's a little. And they're going against a good offense.
Yep.
With Randolph at quarterback for Oklahoma State. I think it's a close, competitive, fun game to watch. I think it's one of those games I really want to watch. I think Oklahoma State wins in a close game.
Yeah.
So
I'm also taking Oklahoma State.
Wow, Bill, look, I already wrote Colorado. You would say Colorado. Let me
Sorry.
fix that.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Oklahoma State.
Every once in a while, see, I know this guy for a while.
I know, yeah.
So I actually wrote down that he was going to bet.
That
Colorado.
rabbit
You got
came
me.
out of the
You got me, Bill.
Okay. All right. December 30th, we've got the Arizona Bowl out of Tucson. 5:30 p.m. South Alabama 6-6 against Air Force 9-3. The last game I saw was South Alabama. They really played a great game, and they surprised. God, what was the upset that the South Alabama had? That was against San Diego State.
Yeah.
Real shocker because I think clearly San Diego State was looking miles ahead.
Oh, there was a 20-point spread or something.
And I think they're still celebrating down there in Alabama. But that one's in Tucson, and it's against a tough Air Force.
Stadium.
Yeah, against a tough Air Force team. Gents, where to start?
I just like Air Force.
Yep.
They're just difficult to be prepared for, and they just play better competition.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I like them in this game. So,
Nope, Air Force.
Air Force.
Yep.
All right. Next up, we have the Liberty Bowl. Getting the more traditional bowl names that you actually recognize as a kid. Memphis, Tennessee, on the 30th, high noon Pacific time. Georgia, 7-5 against TCU, 6-6.
Interesting game. Very interesting game. Both probably underachieved this year what they thought they were probably going to end up doing. I don't know who to pick in this game really, but I think I'm going to go SEC. I'm going to go Georgia.
Okay. I'm going TCU because why start betting Georgia now?
I'm going to go with,
I've been betting against them all year.
Yeah,
So.
that's true.
I'm going with TCU on that one as well. Okay, we've got
North Carolina and
okay,
Stanford.
next is
Bowl.
the Sun Bowl,
Sun Bowl, yeah.
El Paso, Texas, also on the 30th. Stanford, 9-3, Pac-12 against North Carolina, ACC, 8-4.
Yeah.
Well, I'm
Should be a good game, too.
going to say that Stanford scored 5 in the game, so I'm going to go NC.
They scored 5?
They scored 5 points in the game. Ever since
the Colorado.
Yeah.
Well, the big thing,
12-5,
too, is Christian McCaffrey's not going to play in this game.
No.
Yep.
He's going to set it out.
Could be a high draft pick. Not
Yeah.
first round, but it'll high
It'd
draft.
be a high draft. I think the game's going to be high scoring. I like the over and whatever it is. And I'm probably going to lean.
How could you say that though? I mean, because Stanford,
They're going to throw the ball now.
The reason why that I have kind of stayed away from a lot of Stanford games is because of their lack of offense.
Oh.
In a sense.
Well, they changed quarterbacks when they scored the
Right.
5 points. They
Right.
had the Chris kid in.
Right.
Now they went to the other kid, and they've been scoring a lot more points. He's a better quarterback, and I think with McCaffrey out, they're better players are their wideouts, so they're going to utilize them, slinging it around a little bit. And North Carolina's going to throw it around with Trubisky, so
That's
I
true.
kind of like the over.
Okay. I'm going North Carolina +3.
Well, you know who I'm going with. Stanford. You got that one
Oh,
right.
that's right.
Yeah. Back on track. Next up, the
Hey,
music.
who did you take on that one?
Oh, I'm going to take North Carolina.
Sorry
Okay.
about
That's
that.
all right. No.
Okay. All right. Next, we've got the Music City Bowl, Nashville, on the 30th as well, 3:30 p.m. Tennessee, 8-4 against Nebraska, 9-3. So this is essentially a home game for Tennessee
Yeah. Be a lot of
against
orange, a lot of
the
orange
Big
in
Ten.
that one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
it's
SEC,
an
Big
interesting
Ten.
game. Tommy Frazier's I wish Tommy Frazier was going to play for Nebraska. and I'd take that. Tommy Armstrong's going to play for Nebraska. So
He's in jail, isn't he?
Tommy Frazier?
Or he's
No.
No, that was Lawrence. That was
No,
Lawrence
no.
Phillips,
Phillips.
who
He's sketchy. past
one of
that.
the-
who's dead now
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
This game, it's what 3? Field goal game.
3.5,
Tennessee's
yeah.
going to be kind of a home game. I just don't trust Tennessee. I'm going to take the points. I'm going to take
Nebraska
Nebraska.
+points. This is a game I will not bet, but I'm
No,
going
me
Big
either.
Ten as well.
Yeah,
Yeah, going with Tennessee, SEC on this one.
you rebel.
All right, next up we have on the 31st, New Year's Eve, the Citrus Bowl from Orlando, 11 a.m. Louisville, 9-3, Heisman Trophy winner, and play Steelers against LSU,
They're in a little bit different order.
7-4.
I will. Man, Louisville. When they lose bad. LSU is
No middle of the road.
No, when they-
close. You're gonna lose. You might as well lose.
Well,
a
they
lot,
just
huh?
didn't finish well this year.
60 points. I'll take the over in this game. Louisville. I think this is one last chance for the Heisman guy to shine.
I'm telling
Fournette's
you what,
not playing.
give me that LSU defense. Give me that LSU defense all day.
I think Orgeron has got
Yeah,
these
but
guys.
Fast, and they get to go against the Heisman Trophy winner and try to shut him down. That's some good incentive.
Hey, they were
Plus,
able to
Orgeron's
shut down
staying around.
Alabama for the most part.
Give me LSU.
So you're going to lay the 3 points with
Mm-hmm.
LSU.
I'm also going with LSU.
Okay, I'm riding Louisville on this one.
All right.
Plus the points.
Yeah. Okay, then we've got the Tax Slayer, also on the 31st. Same time.
Is that the old
out of
Gator Bowl?
Jackson. Yeah, it must be. I guess they retired the name.
Yeah.
It is, although it is in Jacksonville and not Tallahassee. So Georgia Tech 8-4 against Kentucky 7-5. Once again, ACC.
That's a good matchup.
It's a good matchup. I really like the over in that game.
61.5.
Yes, I like the over. I think it's going to be a back and forth type of game. I think it's going to be a field goal game. What is the line? 4.5, 3?
3.5.
3.5. If I say it's a field goal game, I guess I'm going to take the Kentucky Wildcats.
I'm with Kentucky as well.
Kentucky. All right. And bluegrass across the board. All right. Next up, we have on January 2nd. No, wait a minute. I'm sorry. December 30th. The Orange Bowl. 8 p.m. Pacific time. Michigan, Big Blue, 10-2 against Florida State, 9-3. What's to debate?
It's going to be a good game. It's going to be a good
I don't
game.
really like the 7 points, but they were laying 7 points
Yeah, because it was
against
6.5.
Florida
Went up to 7. And
last
they just
year.
destroyed Florida.
and just absolutely
41-7
manhandled.
or 41-10 or something like that. It wasn't even close.
I'm going to take Michigan, obviously. But
Yeah.
I just don't know. I don't think I'll probably bet the game.
To me, the thing is Michigan disappointed in where they're playing
Yes.
right now?
Oh, absolutely.
How's that going to affect them?
Well, I
Are
think
they going to be thinking about that, or are they
Harbaugh's
going to be
gonna-
thinking about Florida State?
No, I think Harbaugh's going to get the team together and say,
He hasn't been focused in. Doesn't seem like
now
either,
keeps
but
deflecting.
I like
those
him
LA
with a
Rams
lot
job
of. I like him with a lot of.
well, you heard his comment. He said it absolutely isn't happening. So
lot of time. I like it with him because he'll put some stuff in that hasn't been on film.
Michigan's going to win the game. I don't know if they're going to
I think it's going to be within the number. I'm going to take Florida State.
Florida State plus the
Yeah.
points.
I think it's going to be a
And,
close
I'm
game.
taking Michigan.
Michigan. I'm going to go Michigan. I'm going to go ahead and lay the points for the sake of the bet, but I won't bet that, but for
Yeah.
the sake of the bet.
All right, on January 2nd, looks like one of the first games out is going to be the Outback Bowl out of Tampa. Out there where the ship sails, right across the street from Yankee Stadium's, where the Yankees preseason part.
Yep.
Beautiful stadium, by the way. I'm just kidding. Florida 8-4, and essentially a home game against Iowa 8-4.
Was this called the Who Cares Bowl?
It's the running out of batteries bowl because it's going to be slow. Good defenses. Both teams got good, solid defenses. The under is probably something you want to look at in this game. I'm sure it's probably
40
around
and a half.
40 or
Yeah.
so. Yeah. I think it's like a 17-13 type game. I don't really have. I want to say the under. I don't really have an opinion on the side because I don't trust any of the quarterbacks are playing, and I like both defenses, so I like the under.
I wouldn't touch either side of this with Brett's money.
Which is not much.
Big money, big money, big money.
But if I absolutely had to bet it, I would bet Florida -3.
I'm going with Iowa.
Big Ten.
I like the way that sounded. Like
Brett.
the Big Ten.
Oh, like I said, I'll take the under. But if you're telling me who I got to take, I'm gonna take.
Yes.
I'm gonna take Florida.
Okay.
They'll
All
make a
right.
play on defense and score.
Yep.
Same time.
Like they did against LSU.
At the same time, on January 2nd, the Cotton Bowl. We're talking traditional here. Arlington, Texas, 1 p.m. Wisconsin, 10-3 against Western Michigan, 13-0.
Spread up to 7.5. I just kind of want to ride out Western. I'd really love to see them go 14-0.
Oh, I would love to as well.
I just can't.
I just don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah, I don't see it
I just
happening.
think
Wisconsin is
Wisconsin's
really solid.
Pretty. Yeah, they're
Yeah,
just
their
solid.
quarterback's better.
Defensively, they're really good.
They're
Yeah.
a good team. They're a very good team.
I'm laying the points.
Yep.
Wisconsin. I think they win by.
Great game to throw on
Couple
a
touchdowns.
teaser
I'm going with Wisconsin as well.
across the board.
Okay, let's pick it up here. Next up, we've got the Rose Bowl, 5 p.m.
Granddaddy.
The granddaddy of bowl games. So you heard it here. Penn State, 11-2 against USC, 9-3. Talk about traditional Rose Bowl game. Big Ten,
Big Ten,
Pac-12.
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 Yeah.
Hey, listen, I remember it was Big Ten and the Pac-8.
Yeah. Two hot teams. It's gonna be. I think it's gonna be an interesting game. Is it 7 still?
6.5.
6.5. Oh, give me SC. Give me SC.
USC.
SC is going to smash.
It's not
They're
even- I think it's gonna be
actually-
close.
One of the most impressive teams to me right now.
Definitely another way I would look at this game too is SC first half.
Yep. And if you wanted to lay it on
yeah.
a teaser and take it on the money line.
Okay, let's see. We've got here the Sugar Bowl, 8:30 p.m. Oklahoma, 10-2 against Auburn, 8-4.
This line's dropping.
Oklahoma crushes in this game.
There are a lot of distractions going on right now there.
It's going to be murderous.
They can't stop the run.
Oklahoma. Laying the 3.
Yeah, Oklahoma.
Upset Auburn.
All right, let's get to the ones with the juice here, guys. All right. And we go back to December 31st. These are the semifinal games. First one out of the chute, I guess we're looking at the Peach Bowl. Number 1, Alabama, 13-0 against Washington, 12-1.
I just don't think Washington can hang.
No.
Defensively, I think they'll be okay. I don't think their offense will be able to do anything against Alabama's defense. 15-point spread. I think it ends up 3 touchdowns.
This game, and you heard it here first, will be exactly like the game against Michigan State. Everyone's going to be hyped up, thinking that they're going to come in there, and
I can see that.
Alabama's just going to come in there and just lay the hammer.
I can see that.
I am going with Washington and the upset.
In your Pac-12.
I'm going with Washington. The upset.
You're nothing
Yeah, a lot of
but
it is
loyal.
hope.
So are you saying upset, or
Are you taking
you're
the
taking
points?
the points?
You can stay within the points.
No, I'm going with Washington, and I'm going to stay within the points.
Okay, plus 15.
Yeah.
That's good.
Okay, and then last but not least, the Fiesta Bowl out of Glendale. Clemson, 12-1 against the Ohio State University, 11-1.
Is that line 3 right now?
3.5.
3.5.
I already know what I'm betting.
I would bet Clemson at 3.5. I think it's gonna be a really good close
It's
game.
going to be really close.
I think it's gonna come down to the last play of the game,
Hey, listen.
type of thing. I think it's gonna be high scoring.
I agree with the fact it's going to be high scoring, 59.5,
That's
and
over.
I think that game goes over
Goes
easily.
easy. And number wise, I'd have to take the points with Clemson at 3.5.
Well, I'm going to
Even at
take
3.
my bet is going to be Clemson first half. They're one of the fastest starting teams. They've scored more points in the first quarter than any team in the country. Just that alone gives them the opportunity to win the first half. I've hit it like 5 times this year. It's not even close. Every single one of them has been easy. So that will be my bet. I'll take them plus points in the first half. I think it's going to be a really good game. I'm actually looking forward to watching that game.
It's gonna be
It's going to be a great game.
home game basically for Ohio State. There's a lot of Clemson's not coming. I'm checking in because I'm going to the game.
You got an extra ticket?
Huh?
I'll drive.
So I've been checking into it and a lot.
And I won't wear a Clemson
people
shirt.
are gambling basically.
That they're going to win.
They're going to make it to Tampa, which is going to be cheaper and closer for them to
Yeah.
go, instead of coming out to Arizona
Reason
again.
enough. I'm
And
betting on Urban Meyer
So
and the Ohio State University.
I think we win,
Buckeyes.
but I think it's close.
I think they win, and I don't think it's all that close.
So you think they're going to cover the 3.5?
Absolutely.
If you go by trends, Urban, like what I see. I've seen something. I had it right
How
here.
can you bet against this guy? That's why
That's
I'm not taking the game. I'll take
Urban
Clemson
Meyer
first half.
is 10-2 straight up in ATS and bowl games in his career? 10-2.
Okay, so we only got a couple more minutes. So let's go FCS
Yep.
championship game. It
Yep.
is a week away, but let's throw it out there now.
It is January 7th.
Youngstown State, probably one of the best catches ever.
They're-
Cinderella, knock off the number 2 seed.
Eastern Washington.
North Dakota State lost, by the way,
Yes,
to
they
James
lost
Mason.
by James
on
Madison.
Houston, Washington's
James Madison.
blood red field.
Yep. Yep. The catch. Yeah,
Yeah.
but last play of the game, Youngstown State down 38-34
Yep.
with 12-yard line, 10-yard line. Makes the tight end makes one heck of a catch.
Just unbelievable. On the back of the receiver.
Yep.
It was amazing because it actually took them probably 4 or 5 minutes to actually
Yeah. It was
rule
crazy.
which way it was going to go.
Yeah, it was crazy. So James Madison and Youngstown State are going to play.
That should be great.
January 7th.
I'm going for Youngstown State.
I
The
got to too.
Cinderella-
It's Ohio.
Cinderella story.
Ohio, baby.
Yeah,
I got to
mean,
back
come
them.
on, they're still going to roll on that high.
I hope they win.
All right.
And then just a side note, North Dakota State's loss at home in a playoff was their first loss since 1991.
Wow.
Lord. Well,
Since I was a little pup.
well, folks, by all means, we will miss you on the 26th. Merry Christmas to you and your
Merry
family.
Christmas.
But
Yep.
please join us on the 2nd, and we will by then know who's going to be playing in the championship game.
Ohio State.
Guys, listen, I'd like to wish you both Merry Christmas to
You
you
too.
and your
Happy New
families.
Year.
And we're getting ready, but we will be in the new year by the time we get back.
Yep,
So Happy New Year
17.
as well.
Happy New Year, yep.
Join us on the 2nd. 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Southern Nevada Sports News from WWDBTV.com. Happy holidays, folks.
God bless.